And hello, visuals. Welcome to the Visual Guys Rumble On podcast with me and Chris, where we've before conversation we've been having an adult conversation about time of work and time you better get to bed, what time you've been sleeping, so all that shit. Talking very very adult. How's Chris this week though?
I'm alright. It's been a long week with just work wise and hours wise, but I'm in a new van, so it's working out alright.
Oh yeah, you told everybody last week about new van coming. New van has arrived. Chris is happy with new van.
Yeah.
We were talking about mine and Chris's separate finances, about his adult choices, and me studying with an action figure.
Yes. Yes.
The time of the life.
Being an adult sucks sometimes. Though it's just adult responsibilities, paying bills, and all that shit. It's being an adult sucks. Yeah. But I don't think I could be a kid this day and age.
I know what you mean. Obviously, because we've had the experience of us being kids, yeah. We'd know no different.
I think we grew up. I don't know about you, but I think I grew up in the right time of era.
Yeah, we could get in the back of people's vans and they can give you action figures.
Yeah,
it was fine.
Okay. And what about before phones and all that stuff? I don't know for you, but for me, growing up as a kid, phones wasn't really a big thing, so we didn't really have phones. It was like, get out, get in the village, go and play with your pals and shit like that, cause trouble. We spoke about this, didn't we, when you'd go to your mate's house and you'd see where the bikes were at. You're like, oh, they're all at so-and-so's house because the bikes were there. Yeah. Shit, like, no, we had the same sort of upbringing and shit, pal. Yeah, nowadays, kids just fucking glued to the fucking phones and...
Yeah, it's... I understand they kind of can't help it because everybody their age has got phones. If they're not on phones or if they're not on TikTok and Fortnites and shit, they're kind of out the loop and it's there. It's just different fucking shit. There's a saying for that, isn't there? Different paces for different... What the fuck is that saying?
I don't know.
Different motions for different... No, I don't fuck. There is a saying there. But I agree with you. But at the same time, you know, I think we're all a little bit guilty of that sort of shit. You know, we all plug in and tune into shit. I've been very tuned into one particular subject this week, Christ. And I don't know if you're conspiracy or not. And that is, of course, Donald Trump.
Yeah, I'd not really looked into it, but he got shot in the ear.
He got clipped. It's Joe Rogan said it best. I don't know if you saw the episode where he spoke about it, but where for a small period of time, it genuinely felt like we were in a soap opera, like we were in a Matrix. So we'll talk about the actual shooting in a sec, but he come out to a rally or whatever they're called, to give a speech.
Pennsylvania thing,
Yeah, Hulk Hogan was there. To introduce him. So Hulk Hogan come out with his Titantron and his But when Donald Trump walked out, he played 50 Cent, Many Men, wish death upon me, blood of mine. He come out like that. And to be fair, no matter what you think of Trump, whether you're left wing, right wing, it doesn't matter. I was like, that may be one of the most gangster moments I've ever seen in my entire life. The guy literally was centimetres away from death, and he's now the next day, or whatever it was, the next couple of days, walking out to 50 Cent Many Men, and he's giving it fights, and I'm like, what is... the guy's a moron in my eyes. When he says shit, he's a fucking idiot. Yeah, but at the same time, I was like, that is... Not him in particular, but somebody like that is who I would want to be leader. Somebody that nearly had their... Because a lot of people would have been like maybe in a bunker or shouting away. They'd be like, we'll cancel everything for now. We'll just worry about his safety. We'll get to the rest later. But he was like, no, a few days later, we've got my bandage on. We'll come out in Many Men. I'm thinking...
It's a big bandage just for a little clip on the ear, mind you.
Yeah, it's a big eye. It's a big eye bandage. People were cosplaying as that. That's when I was like, this is a soap opera. This isn't real. Because now 110%, there we go. I feel like it's handed him the election.
Yeah,
5 minutes. Right, continue. Donald Trump. Yes, so anyway. Talking about rally, weren't we? It's genuinely just a fucking badass G moment. I can't lie.
A lot of people are saying that it was all...
That's why I wanted to bring up with you.
Because... The FBI didn't clear the buildings properly or something, and they missed one of the buildings. It was basically right next door to where they were.
Yeah,
it was on the roof.
I think, did they say 150 yards? There's like the stage, then there's a sniper for him there, and then the building's like there.
Yeah.
And there was a guy on, I can't remember what show he's on now, he was like an ex-army expert or an ex-security expert. And apparently whenever or like a rallies or anything of high significance happens, they go there like a week prior and where they find out exactly where the person's going to be stood, and they look everywhere in a 360 direction. So there are definitely signs to be like, this is a little bit fucked. Like the people alerting to the police not saying that guy's on the roof with a gun and them not doing anything. The weird fucking security people, like you see the lady who couldn't holster a gun. She like it was like she didn't know what the fuck was going on, what she was doing and shit. To the signs in the background and stuff, and all the weird. There was a lot of weird stuff at play.
Yes.
But at the same time, you could say, oh, it's a conspiracy, it was thinking, or it was just a lot of people being really shit at their job.
There's also that as well.
Yeah, they the lady who runs the Secret Service, she's head of the Secret Service, I can't remember her name. Apparently they spent quite a large number of days training last year with YouTubers. They were just like, YouTubers were going on, be like, oh, what's it like training in the Secret Service? And they were just doing stupid shit like that. And I don't know if that's just sort of filtered down as if it's like a bit more relaxed or what. I don't know. It's fucking, because it's kind of bad as well, because the guy that took the shot was a Republican. He was a voter for Republicans, but then people are saying that's because he was pretending to be, because really he was left wing and shit like that. I don't think it was conspiracy personally. I think it was just a lot of people bad at their job.
Probably.
There are just some question marks going, well, that's a bit strange. That's a bit weird and whatnot. Yes. It's one of them conspiracies, not like flat earth and shit, where I'll actually have a real conversation about.
Yeah.
But the guy was so fucking lucky. Because like I said, he turned his head at a particular moment, like seconds prior, and if he didn't, the bullet would have went back for like just the last little corner of his brain. I don't know if it's enough to kill him. I don't know if getting that part of your brain's enough to kill you.
I don't know. I don't really know the impacts and all that shit.
Might have made him slightly fucking better,
maybe.
And the way he come out on stage, because it's obviously I was sat here taking a piss out this event and whatnot. We've got to remember there was one person died, a firefighter who died protecting his family, and like 2 other people severely injured. Mm-hmm. So it is a serious event. And at the same time, if you want to sit there and say it's a conspiracy, it was built up. This conspiracy led to the death of an innocent bloke.
Yes.
And 2 people getting seriously hurt.
Aye.
But yeah, like I said, there are question marks around it and whatnot. And of course, the sexism awoke would have been like, a lot of the security women were women, or the leader, I think he was a woman, because when he went to that rally with 50 Cent, there was just big, tall, beefy blokes all surrounding him. And hey, I'm not saying women can't protect people, but the outfit he had the second time around seemed a bit more.
Yeah.
It could, like you said, it could have just been her badly trained and whatnot and shit like that.
So do you think he's probably in the running for the
he's won the election.
Yeah.
He's hands down won the election. They were trying to pull Joe Biden out apparently a few weeks ago because Joe Biden is so fucked. He had an interview with somebody the other day, and the shit he was saying was just so nonsensical.
Wasn't he interviewing Ukraine's president? He ended up calling him Putin. Yeah,
he called him Putin, and he called his second hand, his vice president, Trump. The guy's in a really. I mean, obviously, bless him. He's obviously got Parkinson's or dementia shit. There was a moment where he leaves the podium, instead of like, you know, usually a podium that stood like that, and then you walk off. He did that, and he walked off, and he kept his arms like that, and he walked off. It's just a bit fucked, which is, like I said, I don't actually know. I don't know why people actually hate Trump. I know he's a fucking moron and stuff, but as far as I'm aware, I don't know what he's done.
I don't know.
This is where my uneducation in politics.
Yeah, I haven't got a clue. Well, all I do know is that he's probably the only president who's have a criminal record, and is also the only president not to have a war under his belt.
Yeah,
because he ended up befriending Putin. He ended up befriending South Korean dude. North Korean dude. Sorry. So it obviously did something, and he's all for America.
Mate, that picture. Did you see the picture of him?
No.
So somebody timed it as the shooting happened, where he's got claret all running down his face. There's people around him. The camera's like looking up like that, and the American flag's right above him, and he stood like that. Whoever took that photo, they either knew that was going to happen, or they are like the world's best. The picture is phenomenal. it's one of them ones where you would literally, you would imagine Captain America stood there, but bloody with America. It's like, it's going to go down history, or it is one of the world's most iconic pictures. It's fucking badass. That's what I mean, because like I said, the guy's a moron and shit. That's a moron saying he's a moron very much. Oh, shit myself, Chris. Shit myself. That's a moron saying he's a moron. I completely understand that, but yeah, I think there's a few wins in his column over the last week, just with him. Hulk Hogan brought him out, for fuck's sake. It's a weird. We are not in a real Matrix, but it felt like we were in a Matrix of some kind there.
Yeah,
fucking
weird.
Dodgy as fuck.
Fucking weird.
But yeah, so I stayed quite in tune with that, just because I was like, listen, because it's again, you always feel like assassination attempts and shit. At least in Western democracy, I don't know how it happens much over in the East and stuff. You always feel like it's always going to be safer, because obviously the last one was it Roosevelt in the 80s? Was it Roosevelt? Whoever it was in the 80s, but they were fine. And obviously the one before that, JFK, who wasn't fine.
Wasn't fine. But they still think that was all a hitch-up as well.
Yeah, what's his name? Lee Harvey Oswald. Yeah. He didn't act alone and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, they think that all this, the security and all the FBI were involved in all that lot.
Yeah, some people, because of the way the bullet hit and the way it ricocheted and all that kind of stuff. And
he was having an affair with Marilyn Monroe.
That's why I like. Did you see Good Times, Bad Times at the El Royale with Chris Hemsworth?
No.
It doesn't tell you what people are doing at this motel, but it gives you little signs and indicators. And I noticed it straight away. It's allegedly the motel where he met her to have their rendezvous. You should definitely watch it. It's a great film where you're like, oh, what the fuck happened in this film then? And it makes you think a little bit and shit.
I wouldn't say redo, but I am going to read that 116623 or whatever you fucking call it.
The James Franco show?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was based on the book, wasn't it?
Yeah, I enjoyed that because he time travelled, didn't he? Back then, he tried to stop it, and he did stop it. He went back to the future. And it's all
it was all kaput. I'd like to see it continue from that, but obviously with the book, I don't know how far the book goes. So.
Yeah, I have no knowledge on the book, so you'll have to let me know.
So I'll give her a listen to, or read.
You'll definitely have to let me know. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I shall. That's it.
Very old English, I shall. We might as well quickly carry on down Conspiracy Corner. Once again, I'm not saying I believe this and shit, but we know that Trump has every intention of pulling out of Ukraine. And it's kind of stupid, but a lot of wars now are done on profit and shit. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people that have invested interests in this war. And if he's pulling out, there'll be a lot of very rich people that will be like, I don't want to pull out of this. I'm making too much money, arms dealers and kind of shit like that. So there are a lot of points and dots that you connect. Again, I'm not saying I fucking believe it. I'm just speaking hypothetical.
Yeah.
And devil's avocado, because I like talking conspiracies. I don't like living in them and believing them, but we zone out. So
I don't even know what wars are still going on now.
Well, it's weird because in this weird 24/7 modern day news cycle we live in, it felt like every day was a Ukraine war. I cannot tell you the last time I heard anything about it.
I was still in it. Is it still kicking off?
I'm fairly confident it is.
Because you've also got is it the Ukrainians and all? They're also kicking off with each other or whatever.
Well, there's a civil war breaking out in the Ukraine.
I don't know what's kicking off.
Do you know what's fucked about the Donald Trump thing as well? When it was happening, I instantly went to Civil War the film and I thought, I wonder if this is how it all actually starts. Because imagine if they actually killed him. There would have been all kinds of fucking mental riots.
There would have been.
Did you see the riot down in...
I was about to mention the riot in Leeds.
It was Leeds, wasn't it? There was a Romanian family. They had
to do with social services. We're getting rid of taking the kids as well or something.
Yeah, they had an infant child a few months ago who fell out the top window. The kid didn't die, but I think they were really badly hurt. So the social services were coming over. They're like, "This is saying we're taking the kids away," and it led to a fucking massive riot. Cop cars getting flipped over, buildings on fire and shit. I watched a guy setting fire to a bus with a lighter. What the fuck's happened? It's such a weird world. I live in the world of make believe and I'm swinging around New York with Spider-Man and shit. But when I watch the real world shit in the news and stuff, that's when I think I'm not in the real world anymore. That's all kinds of fuck. Like how did one Romanian family getting their kids trying to take off and start to a city-wide protest? Because let's be honest, half of the people there were for the fuck around.
Yes.
There would have been a lot of people. People kicking off that just go phone calls, have it just for a bit, just to see what we can do.
I have no idea how it all spanned out.
It's disgusting how a lot of it's covered on TikTok and that now. Like I like going on TikTok for the Iron Man edits and the Dragon Ball Z cool fun edits, and then you get hit with shit like that, and you're like, what the fuck is going down?
Yeah.
Leeds on fire, fucking Donald Trump fucking doing his shit.
It's a weird world we live in.
It is a
It's a weird world.
Well, the news cycle thing itself is weird anyway. It's always about breaking the first story and shit, and who can be the quickest to the story. Like misinformation is such a fucking vital thing.
Oh yeah.
People now just want to be the first to the headlines and the first to the clicks and stuff.
Unless you're CNN and fucking a couple of others where you're all just bought by the government, so you just fucking release whatever.
Well, do you know what? I said this to the conspiracy night at work. I says I watch a show called The Boys, and obviously you know all about The Boys. And they've got their own news publications, haven't they?
Yeah.
And they're all full of lies and propaganda to make Homelander and stuff to look like the real saviors and shit. And I sometimes when I zone out of The Boys and shit, like when I've done an episode, I'm thinking, I wonder how much of that is them actually taking the piss out of reality. That when the camera's shut off, it's really them with their own different agendas, and they've just spat out this bullshit.
It wouldn't
stuff.
surprise me if it's not far off.
Because how much, when you get loads of misinformation, like apparently, you know, if you've got some sort of ailment, oh, this works for this, and that information is not really true, and that's made up, and oh, actually, no, there's science, and how everything just disagrees with each other. And then the idiots, sorry to put you in that group, but us in the middle are like, well, who's telling the truth, and what do we listen to?
Well, that's it. It's the same when it comes to medicine as well, isn't it?
It's so many contradictories.
There is when it comes to medicine, and a lot of shit that we could probably survive off, that we probably would help. There's meant to be a cure for cancer out there, but they don't want to give us the cure because the NHS will lose out billions.
Yeah, too much money, which is just sick.
Yeah. So, you just never know what's actually the truth.
I remember years and years ago, there was an article in a newspaper. I didn't personally read it. I remember people saying at the time, in the same week, they said about English breakfast can help prevent cancer. And in the same week, they said it can cause cancer. And I thought, oh my fucking God. Like, how can they say in the same week, chuck that shit out?
Anything can cause cancer. We're all born with cancer, really. It just takes anything to start it off.
To kick it off.
Yeah, it's just a knock on the head or a allergic reaction to something. Anything can kick it off. So we're all that bullshit about what you can and can't eat or what you shouldn't eat. It's all a lot of bollocks.
Yeah, I can guarantee you right now, if I had a kid and say I was 80 and they were 40, they were like, Dad, can I do this? Does this help this? I would hands down be like, I have no idea. I've done this. What should I put in it? No idea. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, you know, because a lot of people have them home remedies. Like, was it when you have like some sort of cough or some shit? You have a shot of whiskey, or you have something wrong with your teeth or some shit. You drink whiskey a lot. Or no, was it when you put your kids to bed? You give them a little bit of whiskey.
We got whiskey.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
We got a little bit of whiskey when we were kicking off when we were kids.
Yeah.
We couldn't sleep, so like, right, just fuck up, some whiskey.
See. Is that something we've just made up throughout the years, or is that legit? Is that one of them old wives' tales that we
it's
just
just
sort of
old wives' tales and shit like that.
Yeah, it's because it is mad. And you see people say, "Oh, I'll have some of this," or like when they say a hangover to beat a hangover is have to have more alcohol and shit. But then I don't know if any of that's true or whatnot. It's scary stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to jump another side. Do you know what I mean? I've learned a lot of old sayings and what they mean.
Okay.
It's quite cool actually. Like
okay.
Like do you know
what saying have you heard?
Like Saved by the Bell.
The TV show.
No, they're saying Saved by the. You say it quite often. People say, Saved by the Bell."
Yeah.
Do you know the reason why we say that?
It's something to do with the war.
No, years and years ago, there was a lot of people worried about being buried alive. So when they were buried in like the big graves and shit, a lot of graves had a bell at the top with string in it. And if they were accidentally buried alive, you could ding it, and the grave diggers and shit around the graveyard would know, oh, that person's.
Yeah, I think I've heard that somewhere actually.
Fucking filthy rich. Do you know where that term comes from? Sorry, stinking rich.
No.
So is it crematorium? Do you know you go to a graveyard and there'll be sometimes like a fancy building, like a tomb.
Yeah.
And then so the rich were worried once again about being buried or pronounced dead and whatnot when they weren't really.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, okay, instead of burying us and putting us underground, build this little building for us and then put us down, because obviously they're not putting anything, they're just put on shelves, aren't they? Not coffins or anything.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time they were actually dead. But because they were open buildings, the smell, and it was only rich people that could do this, the smell of their rotten corpses would come through, and you could literally smell the filthy rich, the stinking rich.
Oh.
It's fucking quite mad, isn't it? Paint the town red. That's they're saying years and years and years ago in London, there was this lad who was a farmer lad. They went to London with his mates, and they vandalised loads of streets on a piss up, and they were chucking red paint everywhere on people's houses and potting windows and shit. And that's why you get the saying, "Oh, we're going to paint the town red."
Fair enough.
It's quite cool. I was just reading this this article page about all these old sayings. I must have been on for about an hour. I was like, Jesus Christ! I thought I'll remember all these. I couldn't remember them. I can only fucking remember them. It's but yeah, it's quite fun because obviously these are sayings that we say constantly.
Well, I wouldn't say I would say them constantly.
Well, yeah, I usually use them in small talk. I fucking hate small talk. It doesn't. Oh, you good busy day, pal? Yeah, no worries. Oh, the weather's clearing up. Ah, yeah, no worries. I'll see you later. And then I fucking hate small talk. It does my fucking tits in. Yeah, I wish people at my work would rock up and be like, "You excited for Deadpool?" And I could be like, "Yeah," but no, it's never that. It's always the bride, never the bridesmaid for me. Just in conversation, so it's fucked, mate.
Fucked.
But oh no, I can't. You watch trailers. Fuck! I was going to mention about Deadpool there. Doesn't matter.
Nah.
No,
Don't mention anything about Deadpool until after.
Until after Deadpool.
After Deadpool.
Then
we can have a discussion about it.
We can have a deep dive discussion. I am very much. Well, to be fair, like I said, because we were recording the Wednesday, and that'll be us done, so it'll be the week after. But it's alright. We can have a discussion on the walk home anyway. I don't care. I'll talk all because I've got quite a few viewings for this film already booked. I need to make sure our tickets though aren't other tickets that we scan, so I'll make sure they're up, ready and loaded and shit.
Yes.
I plan on seeing this film many times. Many. It just got me going, mate, because he walked out with a proper hard man look, and like I said, I couldn't help but because surely people on the opposite side were like, yeah, that's quite cool. Because I reckon if that was Joe Biden, he would have been zombified.
Probably.
But Donald Trump's like, fucking come on. Is he bald and he wears a wig?
Oh,
Donald Trump.
I have no idea.
I'm sure he wears a wig.
You know, wear toupee or something.
That's what I'm thinking. I've got a wig, a toupee. Because I was going to say I need to ask Laura because she knows about hair science shit.
Does she?
Whereas, well, I didn't know like Bianca Belair, you know, the wrestler.
Yeah.
A lot of black girls.
I noticed a lot of black girls wear toupees and weird.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
Spin-ons and whatever else.
You know, Bianca's got a massive long hair. And I was like, she must took years to grow that.
Is it all fake?
Yeah, it's just a wig.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I didn't know. It's a lot of. I don't think it's just all black girls because their hair's a certain thickness or whatever, so it can't do the stuff that
I've
does.
noticed when it comes to a lot of videos, people like pulling out hairs. The wig just fucking goes with them.
Yeah, that's what it is. They have like their normal hair, then they put the cap on, and then they get these.
I don't. Why? What's wrong with your normal hair?
It must just be a fashion thing, I'm assuming. But like, I used to always think it was like the likes of a Nicki Minaj or a Beyonce. They'd come out with crazy hair, and then the next week it seemed like bloody hell, they'd change their. It's just all wigs. I didn't. Drew McIntyre. You know Drew McIntyre. Did not for the life of me know that he dyed his hair and beard black.
Did
Now, even though years ago I knew he was a bit brown, as soon as Laura saw him for the first time, I went, "Oh bloody hell, he dyes his hair, doesn't he?" I was like, "Fuck off!" So he dyes his hair and beard. I was like, "No, he doesn't." Yeah, he dyes his because she's like, you can literally see where he needs to redo it. And I'm thinking, and then I brought up all the old pictures, and I was like, "Oh shit, maybe he does." I don't know why it broke my heart. It shouldn't have broke my heart, but like she knew this shit straight away, and I had no fucking idea whatsoever. I was like, oh, he doesn't dye his hair and beard, does he?
Did she used to be a hairdresser or something?
No, I think it's just because she's a girl in makeup and tampons and shit.
Fair enough.
Them fucking fags, mate. It's so weird that I say fags. Well, the UK. Have you ever seen them people reacting to UK people over in America buying smokes and getting fags?
Nah.
Because obviously, to us, I say to you fag,
yeah,
it's a fag.
It's a fag.
But
in America, it's a different matter.
Yeah, but I could get shot.
Yeah.
Over. What did you say? What are you talking to? I don't know why they're British in America. What did you say? I saw, this is where we're going back on the left and right. Some pro-Trump fans were saying like, oh, why do you like, Trump and all that? He's like, well, we don't like Biden because he's trying to tell us how to be gay. And then the interview was like, so is he telling you to be gay? Not me, I'd never be gay. And the guy's thinking, I don't think Biden's told anybody to be gay. I don't think you can tell somebody to be gay. I think they can only naturally become gay. But that's what I mean. That's why the argument, and you look at it, it's so dumb from both sides sometimes.
It is, especially when it comes to America, because some places in America are anti-gay or fucking anti-this and anti-that. I'm like, what?
Imagine literally going to a place now and physically being like, imagine I owned a B&B and the gay couple walked. Sorry, no gays. Imagine actually living in that world.
But that's the thing. There is places like that in America.
Not just, it scares me
like
further over in the Middle East.
Down fucking Alabama and shit like that. They're all
we don't take Cali, y'all calm down. What do you mean y'all calm down? We don't like those city folk.
Yeah, they're all anti-gay, anti-black and all that shit. It's like, fuck me.
There's obviously there's fucking lot of weird places. I can't imagine going into a building and having any sort of hatred for any, gay couple over there or lesbian couple over there, and just literally being like, no, you're not coming in, I hate you. But it's because it's so weird, because it's like, well, I'm not asking you to have gay sex with me, am I?
No.
Just want to be in B for the night.
Yeah. I deliver it regularly to a person, well, I won't say person, to a company in Edinburgh, and he's gay, and I have such a good crack with him.
Oh, a bit of flirting.
No.
Hey, Chris, I don't mind.
And he's such a good crack with him. He's like in his 20s or whatever it is, and
he's a little young boy for you.
Shut up. And I don't understand why people have issues with people like that.
Do you reckon? Because obviously I understand with times and the years and shit changes, and how people look at stuff. Like in the 40s, shit was looked a lot different than how it is now. But do you reckon if your exact you was born 100 years ago, so still you, your personality and likes and fashion, do you think you would still be fine with it, or you would be caught up in the times?
I reckon I'd still be fine with it.
I
don't have an issue.
I don't like that there's another man out there that you're going to touch willies with before me, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there. Okay? I'm not happy with that. I've never, as long as everything's legal and everything's consensual, where people put their genitals is not a concern to me.
It's not, I don't understand why people have issues against other people's sexualities.
Yeah, so when I saw a guy getting abused trying to turn us all gay, I'm thinking, well, maybe you need a bit of gay in your life.
I wouldn't say the only issue I've got, but it's not really an issue.
Oh, who are you offending? Who are you offending?
No, it's not really an issue, but the only thing I get confused with some people is when they're in love with like a fucking building. That's what I'm like, come on,
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Because I'm not in love with the dog. I'm definitely in love with inanimate objects, 100%.
I love certain things. I love my car, but I'm not going to fucking stick my dick in the exhaust.
That's where I sort of draw the line. Even though I joke around like, oh, I've got a new Lego set, I'm pure. It's just by the way, Black Noir's murder boner. I was in fucking stitches, murder boner. But yeah, I always, because I remember years ago you brought up that woman that married a train station or something.
Yeah, we've had a train station, we've had a building, we've had a theme park.
Yeah,
a guy who was making love to his car.
Yeah, I remember that. He was probably kissing it. And
his dad disowned him.
Yeah, because I remember they did like one of them weird pieces, and his dad was talking to camera, and you could see the disappointment in his eyes. Ooh,
when people are like in love with objects like that, it kind of makes you wonder, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And obviously, people that's in love with kids, it's just also a fucking weird thing altogether. It's just no good. But apart from them two issues, I've got nothing. It doesn't bother me if you're gay, if you're fucking bi, if you're trans.
Yeah, like I said, as long as it's all legal and it's consensual and everyone's having a good time.
Yes.
So back to the interviewer, when he said that, I just thought, imagine adding a sprinkle of extreme gayness in them southern bits. It might have a bit more fun. I used to love ending the nights out and outrageous.
I did.
Fucking, apart from the sticky floor.
Yeah, apart from the sticky floor. I had such a good laugh and outrageous. And you can have such a good crack with them all.
Yeah. Because there's a few people that I know in life that are straight away, they go straight to, I fucking hate gay people. And you're thinking, I don't mind if you hate a gay person for a specific reason. Like for example, if I met Hitler, I don't think I'd like him. If Hitler was gay, I wouldn't hate him because he was gay. I'd hate him because he was Hitler.
Yes.
So it's like, if you hate a gay person because of who they are, I've got, but to say I hate all gay people, it's usually a lot of the younger lot that I speak to, like from work and shit. I'm always thinking, why is this? This just screams some sort of insecurity.
Sorry.
No, carry on.
it kind of, well, even if it's from the younger lot, it kind of makes you wonder why, because there's more gays in your generation than there is in mine.
Yeah, a lot
when
more
I was at
now.
school, there wasn't. I don't think there was any gay person in school.
And do you know what a lot of people say as well, which is probably a bit egotistical? They always say, "Oh, I don't mind gay people as long as they don't try it on with me." And it's like, well, how do you know you're like the most attractive person ever? Like, how do you know every gay person just automatically fancy you just because you're a boy?
Exactly.
It's like, because it even works with opposite sex. It's like, you don't fancy every girl you see.
Exactly. Just because they're gay doesn't mean they're going to fucking hit on you.
Yeah, it's fucking bizarre. And when you try and educate them and that, it's so weird. And then you're like, I don't understand where we're going here. And maybe it's an age thing. With I know you're a little bit older than me, but maybe it's just like we just don't care. We just crack on.
I don't. It doesn't bother me what fucking generation you or sexuality you are. Just
as long as you're a good person and you're doing your shit.
Yeah.
It's I've always found it like intolerable. Like there's loads of I found. Oh, here's a good question for you. Again, can't tell you the source of where I found it. There was somebody talking to these black ladies in America. I feel like they were in New York City. I could be completely wrong. And he asked them would they ever date a white person. They said no, we hate white people.
See, that's another thing. I don't understand why gay. Well, no, I don't understand why certain people only will go with their certain colour. If you're white, you will. No, I won't go with a black person. Or if you're black, no, I won't go with a white person. Or whatever.
I'm just chucking this out there. Could be complete horseshit. I'm just gonna assume that it's familiarity because it's two different cultures. I'm just guessing that it's that. Obviously, because not everybody thingies. There are mixed race couples out there around the world. I'm just guessing that it's
just like say an ex at school. She was black. My dad's ex. She was black. My dad's current wife. She's Filipino.
My my pal's dad's girlfriend's from Africa. His dad's a jock and he's a Geordie, and they took her to a football match the other day, and I bet you she was sat there thinking, the fuck, because you've got a Scot and a Geordie just at an Aberdeen footy game. She was thinking, what the fuck is going on here? It's nuts. But the so yeah, you can maybe answer this question anyway. So this guy's talking to these two ladies, and they say about I would date white people, and white people are awful, and they're scum and that. And then the guy was like, so is that hate speech? And they're like, no. And I was like, I don't think I'm qualified to answer this question. But then there was a black guy commentating over it saying it was hate speech. I was like so lost and confused.
It is hate speech.
Doesn't
matter if you're white and you're hating the blacks, that's hate speech.
100%.
If you're black and you're hating if you're black and you're hating the whites, that's hate speech. And if you're white hating the black, that's hate speech. If you're Filipino or fucking whatever different country you come from, it's hate speech.
Yeah, that's what my initial instinct was, but then I was like, I don't kind of want to disagree because I'm the white guy and I don't know if I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
It is hate speech.
But the
thing is that a lot of white people don't want to admit it because they don't want to sound racist. Yeah,
because because should people, I'm not necessarily talking about anybody that's had stuff generationally, like great grandparents do shit. Should the generations that follow after them feel bad for what they did? You should feel bad for what happened, of course you should. But should you also feel guilty for it or not?
I wouldn't say I feel guilty for my generation because I don't know what they did. And if they had beef with the opposite colour or
whatever it is,
whatever, that's between them. That's not me.
Yeah, because it's probably bizarre because obviously we've gone to war, for example, Britain against like Argentina, against... obviously Germany back in the day should have been, but like any war that was fought for Britain against somebody, but like if I met an Argentinian, I wouldn't I've got no beef. It's like whatever happened before.
That's what I mean.
I've got no issue.
Yeah. If my ancestry was I don't know a slave catcher, I don't fucking know. It's horrible, but it's back then.
Yeah.
What do you mean now? If you're relative to them and I'm relative to them, doesn't mean that we can't be friends.
Yeah, I like that, Chris. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yes, it's shit what happened in the past, but I don't see why that should affect now.
No.
It's a lot of times, I'd like to say times are different now, and a lot of people should get on more now.
That's why I struggle to find how people don't. Like, I hate... There's obviously a bad racial slur that gets chucked around this country a lot regarding people from, like, Asia and stuff, and they always say, "I hate these people." You go, "Well, that person's from India, and that person's from Vietnam, and that person's from," but they always use that one word, and you think, how can you just generalize that? That really, again, once again, it's the younger boys at work that sometimes say it. I'm thinking, there's a proper angry lad at work that hates a lot of different things, and I always think, oh,
but why, if he's young and he's in this modern
I don't
era
know.
where there's more gays, there's more sexualities, should I say? There's more sexualities, there's more racial, religion shit. Why, in this generation, if he's young, does he hate?
No idea,
more?
mate. I can't get, because obviously he's had no severe trauma or altercations with these different people.
Well, I think he needs to sit himself down and have a good look in the mirror and figure out why he doesn't like these certain cultures.
Yeah, it's smart. Like it always goes.
I don't know the guy, but if he's going to think like that in life, then he's a prick.
It's very shallow and closed off. Because imagine you hated gay people, but then you went to a concert or a football match or some shit, and then that gay person. Imagine you didn't know they were gay, and you had the best day of your life with them. They loved every film you liked. They support the same team. You had everything. At the end of it, they went, "Oh, I'm gay," and you instantly just broke that potential future friendship because of something that's not going to affect you.
It makes no sense to me. With
yeah,
people like that.
When
it really doesn't.
Because when people say it, I always go, "Haha, you're just taking a piss." Like, no, I'm thinking, what? Really? And I always have to sit and question, and my mind's like, I don't understand. If you were somehow younger, caught by a gang of gay people and raped and molested by them,
yeah, then
I would
got
say
an issue.
You've got an issue because you've got some thingy
going
on there.
I can understand why they don't like that.
You're just a regular dude that just grew up and you just go, I hate gay people. Like, why was the gay? It makes no fucking sense.
This doesn't make sense. If he's going to live life like that, then he needs to give himself his head a wobble.
Yeah, it's obviously people aren't here to try and explain shit, but I don't even know if you could explain. Like I said, there's a difference between hating a singular gay person because of something they've done or something they've said. But like I said, because where their hoo-ha goes, as long as it's safe and consensual and all that shit.
As long as it's not affecting them, I don't see what the issue is.
It's fucking mental, isn't it? There's a laddo who used to work a game in town before it closed down. And he was one of the nice. Every time I went in there, we were speaking about Funko Pops, we were speaking about Pokemon Go. One of the question of what he does in his own time did not fucking enter the conversation. Oh no, he did introduce himself as gay. Said the name. I won't say the full name. No. And I was like, okay, cool. And then boom, Pokemon Go, Funkos and shit. We'd go in the game, we'd give us discount on that. I'm thinking, oh my, So it's.
One lad, which I've mentioned a few times on here. I've worked with him in the past. McVitie's, and I knew he was gay from day dot, and we have such a good laugh. We still have such a good laugh now, and I don't see what the issue is.
It's
He always tries and hits on me, and it's like, no.
But see, if a gay guy actually come up to me and hit on me, I'd be like, I'd probably blush.
Did?
I'd be like, oh, hello, thank you. You like my outfit? I'd fucking. I think Laura would actually be worried.
You didn't. Twice in one day, wasn't it? Was it?
Oh, yes.
Was it the cinema?
Cinema, and there was somewhere else. You are right. And Laura should be worried because I think even she's like, he might go off with, if he dangles enough like Lego in front of him, he might go off.
That's the shit you come out with. No wonder that everyone thinks you're gay.
Well, yeah, if Tom Holland stood there saying, damn,
exactly.
it's whipped cream all over it, I'm gonna climb up on that thing. I'm gonna hack to it. I love that thing.
But I just have a laugh with them and push it off. I've got no issues with them. If they want to do their thing, and like I say, I have a laugh with them. Like I say, me and you put X's on the end of each text. I do with him. I do with the other people. I do with the other people I text. I've been
caught doing that, and they're like, that's gay. I was like, well, I don't know. It's just something I've done. I never do it thinking, kiss, I'm gay. I just do it.
Yeah. Because
sometimes I've messaged you and forgot to do it, like, oh, come kiss it. It's just, it's I have no idea what,
Yeah, it's
I think there's obviously, to say something like that or to do something, there has to be some sort of insecurity or some sort of issue that you're battling inside.
It's either that or they're just been a prick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got no other way of putting it apart from you just being a prick. You're just not accepting change in society.
Or they're just trying to get some sort of shock, like they're trying to be a troll.
It's either that or they're a secret gay themselves.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I can tell you, I've had this conversation loads at work. If I had a kid and they come up to me as gay, my honest reaction would be like, right, okay,
yeah,
and what? I don't care.
I would be the exact same. Right, neighbour, okay,
yeah,
right. What's for tea?
Yeah, just crack on.
Yeah.
But I've had a few people say stuff, and I wouldn't like that. There's a lot of the one which I don't understand because it's once again very selfish to think of. Is
I know someone who's like that, and so do you. Won't mention names, and he said if ever he comes out gay, it'd kick off with him like.
Isn't the ultimate goal for as a parent? I could be wrong. Not a parent. Well, I've got a dog. May or may not be dead. He dead?
Oi.
Dog's not dead, people, don't worry. Yeah, isn't the ultimate goal of a parent for your kid to be happy?
Yes.
So, if one way for them to be happy is to be whatever it is they want to be,
yes,
doesn't even have to just be gay. It could be, I don't know. Daddy,
but you know what this person's like.
Yeah, it's just very intolerant, and I don't understand. And I bet you a lot of that is because they're worried about what other people would think.
Probably.
100%, 110 trillion%. I don't know.
Probably.
That's why I just,
It makes no difference to me. If my daughter or son turns out to be gay, I'm like, okay, crack on.
I would hate for anybody close to me, or if I had a son, for example, or a daughter, and I would hate them being in their bedrooms alone or whatever, wanting to tell me but feeling so scared they couldn't. That makes me feel horrible. So
if a time comes where I do end up having a kid, I'll be having this full-on conversation with them. Like, say, it'd be like, I don't care if you're gay, I don't care if you're fucking whatever. Just be honest with me.
Yeah.
Stop lying to me. We'll be good.
Yeah. I would 100% be taking jokes. Like, if my son come home and he's like 20 and he's like, "This why your breath all stinks of cum," that I would definitely be fucking taking all the jokes and shit like that. But
you've got to help your child.
100%. I can hear Laura now thinking, "Fucking stop saying that. I don't want kids." Neither do I, to be fair. I want my toys to myself. But yeah, the idea that somebody felt like so trapped inside they couldn't speak to anybody and they wanted to come out.
I think that's what a lot of suicide is nowadays.
100%. You are 100%.
Is because a lot of people will judge them for coming out gay.
And it's just for something so stupid. Well, not stupid, but I mean stupid as in like.
Yeah.
It's
gay is so common nowadays. It's especially in the younger generation. I've noticed it's more of the younger generation than our generation that's coming out more now.
Yeah, it's and I bet you there'll be a lot of closet gay people that maybe were born in the 70s or 80s, but they just thought, I better not be gay here because but dad's this way and I don't want to be thingied, and they just sort of had to. I would say Philip Schofield, but the guy was hitting on a young kid. Yeah. But if it was Philip Schofield, he'd come out and his boyfriend was like 30, 40. You don't. But it's because it was fucking young. Yeah, it was fucking.
You are who you are, and if you do end up being gay or even just bi, there's nothing against it. It's the world we live in.
Yeah.
Because if you turn out to be bi, I'm like, okay. I kind of had a feeling with all
you fucking... with all the spiders got surrounded by men in tights.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, as Laura will tell you, I love me some titty. Wow. I love it. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I am Homelander.
I like some titty myself.
I have Laura on harnesses and I just milk.
Bitty.
Don't
She'll kick off talking about her tits.
She's gonna kick. I just smash my head clean.
Talking about Laura's tits. Let's do Laura.
Like, look at dogs when they interact with other dogs.
They'll fucking hump anything.
And they're not bothered. I think we can learn a lot from dogs.
We could, to be fair. Well, dogs are more loyal than people. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, the dicks are disgusting.
Oh, yeah. But they'll fucking eat anything, like especially that one. He'll hump anything, probably.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Why is he scared of that box? Yeah. From Donald Trump to, it's okay to be gay.
Well, it is. It is okay to be gay. It's okay to be bi, lesbian, trans, whatever.
A train.
Just, I'm still a bit issues with men going into girls' toilets, but that's a side matter. But, yeah.
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 Oh, yeah, we shouldn't go too heavy. We can get on that merry-go-round for fucking hours about.
Yeah.
And once again, I still don't know the right answer. Because we want everyone to be happy. We want everyone to be safe.
Just should get away with, my thing, just get away with men and female toilets and just have full-on unisex toilets all individual stalls, and that'll be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Just knock the wall down. Just make one big cubicle.
Just piss in a bush. Bushes for everybody.
Yeah, just piss in a bush.
Piss
in a bush.
Going around town, just pissing in bushes.
Yeah,
There's something unsightly though about when you're coming up town or you're leaving town. There's a very drunk girl weeing on the side of the street. There's something very unsettling about that.
Yeah.
I think it's because obviously the way they have to do it.
Yeah, they were squatting.
Unfortunately for them, us boys can sort of
we can just whack it out
wee.
behind the poles.
Yeah, it's just there you go, done dusty. From Donald Trump to it's okay to be gay to pissing. It's the way we like to roll, Chris. Never mind. No fucking mind, mate.
I'd say it doesn't bother me what you are.
You are a superstar.
Doesn't bother me in the slightest what you are, as long as you're not hurting anybody, or being weird, or being fucking whatever.
Are we fully committed then? Is this our video to try and be accepted by the rainbow people?
Oh, we're not accepted.
Saying,
We've said some shit about them. We're not accepted by the rainbow people.
I think
I'm still not happy that they've adopted the fucking rainbow. Why do they get a rainbow? Why do we not? Why do they get an LBQT alphabet fucking day when we don't?
I feel like we were doing so well, and then we might have just gone back. Just come back down. I think we were nearly in. They opened the door and Chris went, "Why the fuck you got a rainbow?" Oh, fuck off. I feel like if they saw our mugshots, they would go, "I feel like they're racists." Just me. No, you would be the racist.
You look like a fucking hillbilly.
I would be the abused kid.
You are the hillbilly.
In my Pikachu onesie. And be like, what? That's a racist guy. And where did he find him from? And indoctrinate him into your little cult. That's what it would be, mate. Just a horrible.
No, we are nice. I just want to know answers on why they've got certain day, why they have special days for them, and why the rainbow.
I like that they have special days, personally, and special months because they should be out to celebrate and cherish and show the world. Fuck you, we're out here celebrating.
Oh yeah, like saying there's nothing wrong with like saying okay, let's have a day, but like why though?
Is it because you're saying because we already accept it?
Yeah, well, we don't need to be reminded every year that you're gay. Or
because
you're gay. That's it. I don't see why we have to keep getting reminded you're gay.
I think it must be to the ones that are still intolerant, saying we're walking the streets, we're holding our head proud, and fuck yous. I can only. To be fair, it doesn't bother me if they want to scrout it every day of the week. I don't care as long as I'm stuffing my face.
And why the rainbow?
And I'll also kind of just say this for the rainbow. I didn't really care about the rainbows. So one of them is if they turned around and they went, we've got black and white stripes, I'd say, whoa, yeah, I fucking love all these Geordies. Yeah, stick me fucking roll.
Oh, no, I've got nothing against having the rainbow. I just want to know why they've adopted the rainbow, or why is the rainbow such a... Is it because it's a variety of colours? Is that what it's representing?
That would be my guess, because it's a mixture of from yellow to blue to green to whatever colours are in it. What you've said there, I think may be right. I will quickly. I just saw my phone got to 10%, so we'll end it in a sec. To go on from Donald Trump to Guyz to where do you piss to how you piss. Monzo, is it called Monzo? Some sort of bank thing?
Yeah.
There's some sort of thing called Monzo or some shit.
Oh.
Anyway, it's just done a partnership with Greggs. And for a small period of time, if you went to Newcastle, you could go to a Monzo ATM in Greggs, put your card in, and a sausage roll would come out. It's fucking only in Newcastle, mate, because the Geordies love a Greggs. Because they're running.
I had a Greggs yesterday. I was at Newcastle.
Of course, you were, mate. There's more Greggs in Newcastle than any other city, anyway.
Was it in Newcastle? Well, it was more in Darlington.
God, there's a lot of Mackhams around there, mate. You need to be careful, right? This is fighting talk.
It doesn't bother me. It's now. If anyone mentions football to me, I'm like, I ain't got a clue.
No, because we're tolerant to everybody. Be gay, be this. Divin' be a Mackham. If you see a Mackham, smack them. They're all smackheads and dickheads.
I'll leave that to you. Football hooliganism, it doesn't bother me.
But to be fair, I used to play footy with a Mackham. They were sound as fuck. But you would say, hey, I should smack you, and they used to go.
Saying that though, Normie was on about Newcastle the other day.
Oh, what? What was she saying about my team? That
it's just all, most of it's just all potluck.
Most of it's potluck.
I'll have to get rid of. I'll have to. Because this was last weekend. I'll have to figure out.
I wanted to elaborate on that because we've had not low luck for most of our trophyless years
Yeah.
we've not had.
And this comes from a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, which there isn't even really a massive hatred between Newcastle and Liverpool. Not really.
Mm.
On match day, yes, it's tense, but every team's tense on match days. But throughout the rest of the year, whenever Liverpool play, 9 times out of 10, I want them to win.
Oh yeah, we haven't discussed. Have we discussed England game since last time I've seen it?
I can tell you now that I didn't care.
First half they were alright-ish, but second half they just fucking dominated them.
Yeah, it's more Southgate shenanigans. I without even watching international.
Well, he's left now, hasn't he?
Gareth's gone. Yeah,
He's handed his notice in or whatever. He's quit.
He was only getting through so well because of individual pieces of brilliance by brilliant players. Because on paper, England's starting 11 squad are outstanding. They were only getting through because of individual Jude Bellingham's and stuff, because they had talented players. It was not to do with him.
Was it?
It had the fuck all to do with him, because Gareth Southgate's
So do you not think though, if they were all good individually, should have not been brilliant as a team? Was just poor captainism.
It's the poor management, because he was playing people in roles that they shouldn't.
So was that Gareth or was that the captain though?
No, Gareth sets out who plays in what position and who goes where. He was playing people in the we were playing with 2 10s. Bellingham and Foden were trying to do the same role. They were chucking at one point Saka, who should be on left wing or right wing, was playing left back. He was putting people in all the wrong positions.
But if he knows all this, why was he doing
this? Is what people's questions are. Why are they doing this? Why are the subs? Why was Harry Kane starting every single game when people like Ivan Toney and that come on and get goals and do shit? Everyone's like stood there going, I don't understand what this is. Because there's such a nice guy mentality with him, the press don't push him on it and people don't push him on it and journalists don't say anything about it. They just go, oh, nice guy Gareth, Southgate, cool. So he doesn't know how to manage a team. Plus, internationals are so weird because, for example, if you think about Phil Foden, who was voted Premier League Player of the Season, he's without talent. He left that tournament with 0 shots on target and 0 assists and 7 games played. But in the Man City team, phenomenal, because he knows week in, week out who he's playing with and shit. And okay, so he knows he's going to drop out or he's going to run up D.
So do you not think that's the problem then, is that they're not used to how each others are playing?
100% that's part of it, 110%. But because obviously as well, you have to play how the manager says.
Yeah.
So if the manager says, I'm setting you up this way, you're playing this way, I want you to pass it out to the right, I want you to play through the middle, they have to do it that way. And he didn't want to upset his favourites, like the Harry Kanes out of the world. He didn't want to, like Anthony Gordon, for example, one of the best players of the season last season, the Newcastle player. Yeah. Phenomenal. I think he got about 30 seconds to a minute of game time, where there was loads of games where he would have been pivotal. Ollie Watkins, phenomenal season. It saved England to get him into the final.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Barely played him. Just because Harry Kane was his favourite.
That's shit then, isn't it?
That's why he needs to get gone. They tried to get, they're on about Eddie Howe, and Eddie Howe was like, no, thank you.
So who do you think's going to be next?
It's talk of Jurgen Klopp, but if I was Jurgen Klopp, I'd be like, no thanks. I can do a lot bigger and better. Jurgen Klopp's one of the best recent managers.
I've heard of Jurgen Klopp. Which is Jurgen Klopp?
You should have heard of him, mate. He's just left Liverpool.
Yeah, I've heard of Jurgen Klopp.
Fucking phenomenal. I don't know. They can get someone like a Graham Potter or a Pochettino in, maybe. Like I said, I don't really care. It just annoys me because when the season starts in 3 or 4 weeks' time, we're going to have about 3 or 4 games and then there's an international break for a week.
Why?
Fucking pisses me off. They always have international breaks because now we'll be doing the build to the World Cup.
Which is in 2 years' time.
Yeah. Just fuck off. Leave my club football alone, you horrible bunch of fucking international pricks.
So do you not think that sometimes they're overplayed? A lot of people say, oh, they get paid too much for kicking about football about.
Do I think they're overpaid? Personally, no.
No one said overpaid, but you don't think they're overplayed?
Oh, overplayed. Yeah. Sorry, they play too much football. Yeah. There is a debate they play too much football, especially now with like club level. There's more games in the Champions League and shit like that. Yeah. Sometimes
it can't be good for you.
We Newcastle could not cope with it last season, playing midweek, playing weekend, playing midweek, and then you got your domestic cups, the FA Cups, the League Cup.
Yeah.
We were not used to it. We didn't have a big enough squad. We were the most injury team in, I think it was definitely England, but it might have even been Europe. Well, that's why we had to play like these little kids and be like, 17, you've not really played professional, have a go, because we had no one, because there was too much football being played. Some squads can do it. Man City have a fantastic A and a fantastic B team. They can get away with it. An Arsenal, a Liverpool can. A Chelsea to an extent, but smaller teams cannot. There is a lot of football to be played.
I use a small team though, or I use a big team?
See, this is where Newcastle...
Because you have your moments, and now you've got some kind of Dubai prince.
We're the richest club in the world by billions.
Yeah, now you've got a Dubai prince. I don't see why you can't get more.
I always say Newcastle are a big club. Liverpool are a big club. Chelsea are a big. Newcastle are a big club because we got a big stadium, a huge fan base, history with players, but we haven't got a traditional history of trophies.
Okay.
So if our trophy cabinet was a lot more in there, we've always been in and around the Shearers.
Do we need to be
90s.
a big club to have a trophy cabinet?
Well, the bigger the bigger you get, the more successful.
Oh,
That's why the most successful teams. Because City aren't even a big club; they're a big club. Like Man United is still way bigger. Chelsea, our Arsenal, our Liverpool are. It's just over the last 10 to 15 years they've got shitloads of success, so they're making their way there.
Yeah.
How much fan base they've got worldwide? Newcastle's very much Newcastle, bit of England, whereas Arsenal is around the world. Liverpool is around the world. Man United is around the galaxy. It's Man United and Real Madrid, biggest teams of all time, without a shadow of a doubt. Second in England would, for me, be Liverpool. Our fan base, though, I always say it's hard as well because you got to remember your bias. To me, Newcastle is the biggest team in the world, the biggest club in the world, because it's mine.
It's yours.
But if I was looking out and I was a Fulham fan, I would admit to say Newcastle are a big-ish club just because of the fan base and the support, but we haven't impacted world football.
No.
Like I said, we haven't got a Premier League trophy. We haven't got a Champions League. The last major trophy one was fucking 1956.
Well, last time you got a trophy.
And we've been up and down relegations and shit like that. We're just...
do you think now you've got this Dubai Prince, do you think you'll go far? Do you think you'll do well?
Over the long run, yes. But for whatever reason, over recent years, they've put a stranglehold on teams buying... After City have bought... That's why they're in the middle of this court cases. City have bought the trophies, which I was more than happy to do. The only way I was going to see Newcastle lift a trophy was if we fucking bought it.
Because your last owner, JJB Sport, was that right? Sports Direct. He was a shithead. He didn't like spending money, did he?
He was a fantastic businessman, but he was a horrible football manager.
It's a bit like Donald Trump then.
Yeah, he basically said, "Oh, that player's worth. We've bought him for now. He's worth 60 million. He could lead us to somewhere." Or I could get that 60 million. We'll have that 60 million, please. Yeah. Instead of being like, well, hang on a sec, he could lead us to something.
Yeah.
So he was awful. He was making money as a businessman, fine. But if you're going to own a club, you need to.
You need to invest.
Yeah, you have to.
And obviously he wasn't.
But there's caps now. Like I said, they've got financial fair play, which was never a thing until.
What's that?
It's like you have to earn so much to be able to spend so much.
Okay.
So you can only have a certain amount of losses and shit like that, which is, you would say, is fair. But Man United did it all the way through the late 90s, early 2000s. Man City have done it. Chelsea have massively done it. And it's like, well, how have Newcastle, Villa, Crystal Palace, Fulham, how are we going to catch up if they've been allowed to spend billions for years and not be in trouble? And if we spend 100 million, we're like, oh, where you getting that? Because, like, if you've got a club and you're a billionaire owner, you should be able to say, you should proof of funds, say, there's my billions. I'm going to buy in. They should say that's fine.
Yeah.
They're worried about people spending too much and then putting the club in debt and then eventually administration, which has happened to clubs.
Well, I suppose that makes sense because it happens to businesses. You don't just buy a business and then just fire money straight at it. You need to
build it up. But that's why at the same time it's unfair, because if we've got proof of funds and say, listen, that's not going to happen. Look, we have hundreds of billions, which we do. We're fine. We can spend half of that. We're absolutely fine. And the Premier, but it's all political and it's all, I don't know, because we did have a miracle season with Leicester winning, but we will never see that again. Ever.
Why?
Just because it's like I said, no one's going to beat. The only team to beat City to a league, to a title at the minute is going to be like an Arsenal who has spent big, Liverpool who has spent big, Chelsea who has spent big. It's only going to be one of them because they can buy the best. Say, oh, you're unreal, how much? They go, oh, you're unreal, how much? Whereas they're like, oh, you're unreal, we can afford you, but for whatever reason, because there's a thing called the Big Six: Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, City, Man United, and they're kind of like their own little group, and they're like, oh, you want to try and step over us? No, thank you.
So what's all right? Let me just clarify this. So So all them Big Six, they're a Burger King, for example, where Newcastle, they're a Greggs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we are Geordie, we like things.
Of course, Greggs is also like just UK based mainly, isn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously McDonald's and Burger King's
worldwide. Yeah.
So it's that basic how it is.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way of putting it. That's why we're doing we're doing a tour in Germany. We're doing a tour in Japan to try and get global.
Try and be in the 6 to be the 7.
To try and be the big 7 if we can.
Yeah.
So it's a bit frustrating. It's a bit annoying. If certain people are about to get away with it, well, we don't know actually. We don't know what's going to happen to City. End of November, apparently their final verdict's going to be, because people like Everton and Forest who've been done with points deductions last season with charges, but City had now done with them. I know they've got a lot more. They had 100.
These are the ones that's in court, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Everton at points deductions nearly got relegated. Forest nearly got relegated and shit. And they're like, well, why haven't you done that out of City?
So remind me what happened with City now.
They've got 150 financial fair play breach charges. So there's apparently money that's gone behind the books. There's overpaid. We're paying him this much, but really they're paying him this much
for fraudery.
Kind of shit like that, yeah.
Okay.
So it's, like I said, it's all very. I just want to play football. May the best team win. If they're allowed to spend, we should be allowed to spend. If we're not allowed to spend, they shouldn't be allowed to spend.
See, this is why I like racing, because you're all
motorbike racing's fucked. You realise how bad? There's a lad that comes in who does the Isle of Man and shit.
Yeah.
And apparently, if he doesn't get the funds, he can't race.
It's a bit. Well, that's what sponsors is. You need to get your sponsors to race, to build what you need to build to get on the track.
Yeah.
If you don't get your sponsors, obviously, then you can't race.
Yeah. I didn't realise how. I thought if you got a bike and you're good enough and you do like qualifications, you're fine.
No.
But yeah, explain that all to me.
You've got to have sponsors to get certain things.
Yeah, it's fucked, mate. Guyz, Donald Trump, piss. You guys. We will end it there though, because I've got my 5% warning before it goes. Fuck off, cunts.
Whack off.
But yeah, there we go. Visuals. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to.
It is. It's okay to be gay or bi or trans or whatever they say.
Whatever you
just
want to
don't hate on people, because you're not getting anywhere in life and you've just been a prick.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Chris.
So on that note, love yourself, love the world, love you, bye.
Keep on keeping on. Bye bye. Love the world.